No doubt all of you are good. That's why we all are working today together. And of course, we have the honor and pleasure of devotees and Radheshyam Prabhuji from ISKCON today with us. So to do some puja and also give a seminar on stress and time management. Given what we are going through last 2.5 years, I thought these two topics really make sense for all of us. Right, in different walks of life, in whatever we are doing, there's a lot of stress. One, two, how we manage our time properly. So Prabhuji has agreed gracefully to address us and share his thoughts on those two topics. So without much ado, I will hand over to him.
Yeah. So you all can rise in your own places. Yeah. ईश्वरः परमकृष्ण सच्चिदानन्दविग्रहः अनादिरादिर्गोविन्दः सर्वकारणकारणं चिन्तामणिप्रकरसद्मसुकल्पवृक्ष लक्षावृतेषु सुरभिरभिपालयन्तं लक्ष्मीसहस्रशतसम्भ्रमसेव्यमानं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि वेणुं पणन्तमरविन्ददलायताक्षं बर्हापतं समसिताम्बुदसुन्दराङ्गं कन्दर्पकोटिकमनीयविशेषशोभं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आलोलचन्द्रकलसत्वनमाल्यवंशी रत्नाङ्गदं प्रणयकेलिकलाविलासं श्यामं त्रिभङ्गललितं नियतप्रकाशं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अङ्गानि यस्य सकलेन्द्रियवृत्तिमन्ति पश्यन्ति पान्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति आनन्दचिन्मयसदुज्ज्वलविग्रहस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अद्वैतमच्युतमनादिमनन्तरूपम् आद्यं पुराणपुरुषं नवयौवनं च वेदेषु दुर्लभमदुर्लभमात्मभक्तौ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि पन्तास्तु कोटिशतवत्सरसम्प्रगम्यो वायोरथापि मनसो मुनिपुङ्गवानां सोऽप्यस्ति यत्प्रपदसिन्यविचिन्त्य तत्त्वे गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि एकोऽप्यसौ रचयितुं जगदण्डकोटिं यच्छक्तिरस्ति जगदण्डचयाय दन्ताः अण्डान्तरस्थपरमाणुचयान्तरस्थं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यद्भावभावितधियो मनुजस्तथैव सम्प्राप्य रूपमहिमासनयानभूषाः सूक्तैर्यमेव निगमप्रथितैस्तुवन्ति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मयरसप्रतिभाविताभिस्तावीर्ययेव निजरूपतया कलाभि गोलोक एव निवसत्य किलात्मभूतो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि प्रेमाञ्जनच्चुरितभक्तिविलोचनेन सन्तः सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्य गुणस्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि रामादिमूर्तिषु कलानियमेन तिष्ठन् नानावतारमकरोद्भुवनेषु किन्तु कृष्णस्वयं समभवत् परमः पुमान्यो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्य प्रभा प्रभवतो जगदण्डकोटि कोटीष्वशेषवसुधादिविभूतिभिन्नं तद्ब्रह्मनिष्कलमनन्तमशेषभूतं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि माया हि यस्य जगदण्डशतानि सूते त्रैगुण्यतत्विषयवेदपितायमाना सत्त्वावलम्ब्य परसत्त्वमिशुद्धसत्त्वं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मयरसात्मतया मनस्सु यः प्राणिनां प्रतिफलं स्मरतामुपेत्य लीलायितेन भुवनानि जयत्यजस्रं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि गोलोकनाम्नि निजधाम्नि तले च तस्य देवी महेश हरिधामसुतेषु तेषु ते ते प्रभावनिजया विहिताश्च येन गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि सृष्टिस्थितिप्रलयसाधनशक्तिरेका छाये वयस्य भुवनानि बिभर्ति दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपमपि यश्च च चेष्टते सा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि श्रियः कान्तः परमपुरुषा कल्पतरवो ध्रुमा भूमिश्चिन्तामणि गणमयी तोयममृतं कथागानं नाट्यं गमनमपि वंशी प्रियसखी चिदानन्दं ज्योतिः परमपि तदा स्वाद्यमपि च स यत्र क्षीराब्धिः श्रवति स्वरभिभ्यश्च सुमहान् निमेषार्धाख्यो वा प्रचिति न हि यत्रापि समयः भजे श्वेतद्वीपं तमहमिह गोलोकमितीयं विदन्तस्ते सन्तक्षितिविरलचारा कतिपये. So now we will sing the Hare Krishna mantra. You all can repeat after me, okay? I will lead one full mantra and then you can repeat after me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
So, as I told, we are lucky to have and in fact blessed to have His Grace Radheshyam Dasji. Before the session chat, I would like to give a brief profile of our illustrious presenter here. Sri Radheshyam Das Guruji has completed he's been IIT Mumbai topper and president of ISKCON Pune for the last 20 years, leading a community of 6,000 members. Director of Youth Club Voice, that is Vedic Oasis for Inspiration, Culture and Education. His Grace has also been designer of Discover Yourself, a 6-session course of youth and of corporates. Compiler of youth books like Stress to Smile, 5 volumes, Essence of Gita, etc. His Grace is also Global Excellence Award, has won Global Excellence Award winner for educating youth in Bhagavad Gita. His Grace is also Jiva Goswami Award winner for Innovative Youth Outreach. He is GDO, that is Global Duty Officer for Youth Outreach, visiting Boston and other places in USA for last 2 months and years. He's been youth trainer in last 25 years in all leading IITs, NITs, and other reach outs to in Pune, Kolkata. I mean, globally, not only regionally, nationally, and globally, he's a well versed and well known person. Radheshyam Guruji is also a corporate presenter, seminar presenter at a lot of big names like Amazon, Bank of America, Infosys, Tosh Bank, Cognizant, Western, and in fact, Copart too. I request Radheshyam Guruji to take us forward.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Welcome all of you this afternoon. You will have a new approach to solving the problem of time crunch and stress in life today. Of course, there are many self-help books I am sure many of you must be reading to figure out ways to make your body and mind more healthier. Everybody is doing that. But if you catch some of the tips that we will share with you today, and even make an iota of small step, if you make forward in this direction, it will be very rewarding. You will see that. Because what I'm going to share with you are timeless universal laws, principles, like true north principles, we call it. True north means like compass. No matter in which direction you change it, it will always come to north. We have seen that. So those are the kind of principles you will learn today. These are very rare for you to hear, generally speaking, because most of the self-help books give you some shortcuts, quick fix solution. Like if you have obesity, there are many quick weight loss programs. They are not actually good. If you take those quick weight loss thing, you will suffer also terribly. So this will give you. Yeah, thank you. So Naranjan sir told me that two things would be helpful for all of you. Something to do with converting stress into smile, and another thing about time management. So I also discussed elaborately with him what the Copart is doing all across the globe, and more than 8,500 employees. And in India, this is the only unit, he told me. And in US, there are 250 units. And from big size to small size, all different vehicles are being sold. And what kind of work you all do, he told me. I got an idea, fair idea. So in one sense, this seminar is pretty easy for you to grasp. At the same time, yeah, you will have to apply a little bit of your thinking. Like look at this crow here, the hard worker crow. Well-known crow it is. Because when the water level was low, he was bringing stones and putting it to make the water level rise. And in those days, he was considered to be a smart crow, correct? No? Because he found out a way, he figured out a way to make the water level rise. But it is not actually considered a smart crow because he had to do a lot of hard work. A smart crow would go to the fruit juice shop and take a straw and come and put it, just like this. So he's a smarter crow. So look at the statements below. A smart leader will look at innovative and smart ways of managing their competition and growing the business. The desired leadership traits have also changed over the period of time. See, traditionally, if you are a hard-working person, you come to company early and you go late at night, you're considered very special. Or you are very determined in the job and you're consistent in your job and you stick to your position for 2 decades or like that, you will be considered very great. That's not the case anymore now. The world has changed quite a bit in all respects. We are living in a global village now. Every person in the world is connected to everybody else right now. So that being the case, every company is looking for people who are smart, who are well informed. You know the meaning of the word agile? Anybody can tell me what is agile? Agility means ability to change and adapt flexibly as per the need of the situation, not only in dealing with situations, in dealing with people, in dealing with the market, in dealing with the task in hand, in dealing with the new methods the company introduces to you. All this is called agility. I will show you there are more than 8 or 9 aspects of agility, the change that is expected. Just like you might have seen a trapeze artist in a circus, they hold this rod like this and they move. You have seen that in the top. So they keep going like this. Sometimes there is no net also below. It may be very frightening for you. What will happen if he falls down? But you will also see sometimes they leave one rod and jump to another rod. You have seen that? How many of you like that one? Leaving one rod and catching another one. You like it? You like that or using the same rod and going? You like that? Which one? We'll take a vote. How many of you would enjoy seeing somebody leaving one and jumping to another? How many of you like it? Yeah, we all like it because that's innovation. Being innovative and creative means willing to give up the, ways of traditionally functioning in a certain way, and you'll have to think out of the box thinking, as we say. So that is actually called smart work. Like this crow thought, okay, there are crows which are putting stones. Now, why should I work like that? There are other smarter ways of working now. So, therefore, if you're smart, well-informed, agile, strategic, business, and number-focused, and people-focused, and who have a global exposure are successful, you see. And also customer experience and quality has become very vital for survival and sustainability, which means you go for tuition classes now. You can sit in your home and conduct a tuition class for students abroad now. Just 3 hours you teach and people are drawing 1 lakh per month now. How? Because the student should certify the teacher now. Not that the teacher decides how the student should be. World has changed quite a bit. So therefore, there's a great threat amongst the youngsters for survival. So at the same time, we don't have to fear too much also, because one should keep the mind afresh and open for us to think well and think innovatively and creatively. When does parachute function well? When it is open or closed? Yeah, when it is open. Therefore, mind is compared to a parachute. It functions better when you are open for ideas, open for others' opinions. When your mind is open enough to, give up the set ways and be willing to modify your ways. That's called smart work. So this is what I told you about agility. You see results agility, self-awareness, mental agility, people agility, change agility. Some people don't like change. Yeah. How many of you hate last minute assignment? Correct, no? Imagine suddenly you are changed from one department to another, where the boss always gives you last minute assignment. So we should be willing to change. We have to get used to that type of boss also sometimes. Similarly, results agility. So it delivers results in challenging first time situations. First time situation means it's new. You don't know. You can't say that I wasn't aware of it. It's a new thing. You can't say that. That's results agility. Similarly, self-awareness means extent to which an individual knows his or her true strengths and weaknesses. You know what type of person you are. Some of us get angry very quickly. Some of us are, soft-natured, and some of us are quick to think. Some of us are slow to think. So we all need to know our strengths and shortcomings so that we can actually work on those shortcomings, which are actually room for improvement. We don't call it weakness. It's room for improvement. That is self-awareness agility. Mental agility means ability to examine problems in unique and unusual ways. That's out-of-box thinking, I told you. People agility means you are a skilled communicator. You can work with diverse people, all kinds of people. Because there are people who may not open their mouth, but they are understanding the subject quite well. And if you give them an opportunity, you will get something valuable out of their mouth. So therefore, he's saying there are different types of people we are working in our company as colleagues. So a team leader is one who knows the art of bringing the best out of everybody, each member of the team. Okay, now I'm going to show you 3 tips. This is the tip 1. The book of your life. It's whose life? It's your own life. Let us assume that you have 365 days in a year. In the same manner, in this book of your life, you have each chapter having 365 pages. And if you live for 100 years, similarly, this book has got 100 chapters. So you can ask what type of person I have been all through. Like you look at these two people, the person on the left side loses temper very quickly, and the person on the right side takes things lightly. So we all have a choice in our life how we want to behave. So we are filling up the pages of our book of life with the way we think, the way we speak, the way we act. Many companies have lost customers because of improper responses from the company people. Big losses have happened because of that. Sometimes in a company, because of the, you know, uh, because of one superior not acting properly with the immediate next authority and next subordinate, that person has left the company and joined a rival company. It has happened also like that. So therefore, this book of life mainly talks about interpersonal dealings. Interpersonal dealing means how you deal with your juniors, with your equals, with your seniors, and how are you a pleasant personality or are you an irritable personality? Not just about that, about everything we do. So at this point of time, we need to understand one very vital thing. As Thomas Huxley says, there's a big difference between matter and spirit. For example, I keep my alarm clock in the morning. I get up at 3:30 a.m. every morning. So I keep my alarm. Sometimes I get up at 3:20 and I go to take a bath. But suddenly I will hear my alarm clock ringing. Tick, 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 so much irritating because I am already in bathroom. I can't come out, but I have to tolerate the noise. And it'll every 5 minutes it will keep on ringing. Get up, get up, get up, get up, because it is unconscious, dead machine. It is. Imagine if you are sleeping in my room. I tell you, please get me up at 3:30, and 3:20 I got up and went to bathe. Will you keep shouting at me at 3:30? Get up, get up, get up, get up. Will you say? Why you will not say? Already you've gotten up. The purpose is already served because you are a conscious personality. But machine is not conscious. Machine is a dead thing. Therefore, there's a big difference between Jada and Chetan. There is a Jada means dead thing, like table is Jada, and every one of you is Chetan. Just like Descartes said that cogito ergo sum. He said, I am aware that I am existing. Are you all aware you are sitting in your chairs now? You are conscious. But the chair is not conscious. If it is conscious, it will shout at you, hey, you are sitting on my top. Correct, no? Chair is not conscious. It's a dead thing. So therefore, what is that thing that gives consciousness to in our body? As you see here, body, mind and soul. What you see in the mirror is only the body. And inside this body which you see is the mind, which is a big subject matter now. All over the world, people are studying. All the more so now, because the mind is causing a lot of stress to people and they want to know what the mind is and how to harness the powers of the mind. And the soul is the real you, which has consciousness. Just like all of you today are wearing one dress today. Tomorrow you will remove it and wear another dress tomorrow. Like that, the yellow color one you see is the soul, who is actually wearing different type of bodies. Sometimes we are situated in a human body, sometimes an animal body, sometimes in a tree's body. So the conscious personality, the soul, yellow one you see, he is imperishable, eternal, everlasting. He never dies at all. And if you know this fact, you will never get old in your life. You will see that even if you become 80, you will feel you are 18. You'll feel that because you are not the body. Body may get old, but your spirit will never get old. So, therefore, this is the first fact that Lord Krishna told Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, get up. Don't be so morose foolishly. He said, you are not the body. You are the spirit. You are the spirit, soul, and the body. Now, how does it serve the purpose for company workers to know that I am not the body, I am the soul? You may have a question. But it serves a very great purpose, which you will see in the slides to come. Because you need to know all the three, the body, the mind, and the soul. Then only you will be able to utilize these resources well. Like here you see the soul coming out of the body. Yeah. So you see the yellow band you see, those are innate qualities in you, which are actually good qualities, pure qualities, sublime qualities. There is no human being who is bad. Every human being is divine by nature. According to Vedas, they say that everybody is potentially divine. But the red band which has come over the yellow band, you see, that is in our mind. Our mind has become impure with certain acquired qualities. Why I am using the word acquired? Because when the rainwater is coming down from the sky, it is very clean, pure. When it touches the ground, it becomes muddy. Similarly, we also have acquired some qualities like this. Like you see the simple ones. Somebody can read only the simple ones. Give the mic to them. One more mic. You have one more? So I have written 3 here: postponing and inattentive and mood off. Anybody knows what is mood off? Anybody knows what is mood off? Or mood out? You know what it is?
Getting dull.
Getting done? Actually, yeah. I think he wishes to say yes.
Maybe you're not in a mood to work on that. Like, you could do, but you're not in a mood to put that effort. And
Yeah. Maybe say it's a cloudy day, rainy day. You may look out of the window and say, today I'm not feeling like working hard because it's a rainy day. That means you are getting affected by the environment. Or one of your friends spoke something irritating to you in the morning as soon as you came to company. Then half a day goes without any work because our mind is going here and there thinking why he said this and why he doesn't understand. Mind keeps on going on a rut. Then you get mood out, we call it. So these are simple problems actually, defects of the mind. Sometimes you are inattentive in work and suddenly you find a very vital information is missed out sometimes. And inattention can be very damaging in certain things. Postponing is a famous one. And there's more, read the second one please, serious ones. Yeah, can read vertically, yeah.
not taking initiative. So easily irritated and inability in team playing.
Yeah, you see, Stanford University did a research on the students graduating from business schools like Harvard Business School and others. Surprisingly, they say that 57% of the students don't know about their job description very clearly when they are working in a company. But 72% of them are weak in team playing, they say. So therefore, I have taken that little more in detail in the next slide. You will see inability in team playing. That means if you put them in a team, they can't function. Put them alone, they can function well. They're individual players. They can't work in a team because they have difficulty in interacting with others in a very proper, polished way. Because they can't adjust to different type of personalities. Just like these 5 fingers are of different shapes and sizes. Similarly, people are of different natures. Some people say, just leave me alone with my work. Some people say like that. That's also a bad quality actually. We are living in a world where you can't avoid human interaction. We need the art of knowing how to speak to whom, what to speak. And the grave ones, yeah.
Lacking loyalty to company, lose in dealing with opposite sex, bad mouthing behind back.
So these are all more dangerous qualities. So now I have given examples. I need 2 of you to read. I will show you yellow one and red one. So the yellow one, when I show, you can read it in a soft way, whoever has a soft voice. And the red one, you have to read in a very little harsh voice. Okay? Okay, yes. Read it, the yellow one. Yeah, God works.
God works through my.
You can give the mic like this, as if you are drinking water, like this. And give.
Okay. God works through many by giving them creative thoughts.
So he's a good team player because he thinks that many people can have creative thoughts. Another dude can read. You read it? Another one?
My opinion is best.
You are also very soft natured, huh? My opinion is best. Like that you should say, okay? Yeah. Okay. Read it?
I'm open to good suggestions. I'm open to good suggestions from my team. I consider I am one of them.
That's a very good state of consciousness, correct? No?
I'm easily irritated. I am the boss. Just do what I say.
So you're able to see the flaw in this thought process. I just can't stand anybody. If I am in a team, I'm the team leader, means you just listen to what I'm saying. Like that one feels. I am the boss. Just do what I say.
I am grateful and appreciative of others' ideas. It makes my life easy and brings direction for team.
Yeah. Which means he feels that the direction for team need not necessarily come from me alone. It can come from someone else in the team, or it can be a combination of the two also. Like this he feels. He's very honest.
I consider others giving opinion as insubordination, and I badmouth about them.
So you are able to see the red ones having some problem. How many of you are able to see there is a problem in this red one? You're clearly able to see, yeah. So this is what we mean. In interpersonal dealing, we face these challenges when we are dealing with people around us. Many of us in company life, our interaction, as much unhealthy it is, that much time is lost in repairing the relationship. A lot of time goes in that. Or you may not repair the relationship at all, then you don't get cooperation from others with whom you have to work with. So we have to actually graduate from the red one to the yellow one, the thought process. And for the three things we have to change: behavior, attitude, and thinking. All the three. So I will tell you three things for attitude, thinking, and behavior. It's not very difficult if you try to make a change. For attitude, only one thing you have to change in life. For thinking, two things you have to change. For behavior, three things. So I'll tell you, you'll remember. Okay, for attitude, anybody can say, what's the only one thing you have to change in attitude? We generally blame others, right now. When something goes wrong, people immediately do like this. When something goes well, people raise their collar. I did it, generally. So the right attitude means you take responsibility. That's what brings right attitude, taking responsibility. And thinking can be changed in two ways. The first way you can change your thinking process is observe yourself. How many of you observed yourself and you know what type of person you are? You thought about yourself. Anybody? Some of you have done that. Thank you. So, what is the advantage of thinking about what type of person I am? You let them say that. Give the mic to them. Well, how does it help you? You can say that here.
You kind of understand from where the thought is originating. Like, even if I in that moment, if I said something, or if I behaved in a certain manner, then I could trace back to where that anger. I might have been irritated about something else, but it might have represented.
Come out here, yeah.
So
see, he is
kind
thinking like this. So by this thought process, what is the advantage he is gaining? He is making a big leap step in his life. How? There are two things in our life. One is called as by default, another one is by design. So if you are doing self-awareness of yourself, you can act by design, not by default. By default, thing is instinctive behavior. You slap me, I slap you. That is instinctive behavior. You just respond, react, you don't respond. But by design means you design your response. You think about the consequences of what I'm going to say. If I say this, what will happen? Many times we all are put in a fight-flight situation. You agree? You know what is fight-flight situation? Say, for example, a girl is married and she comes to her in-laws' house. Her mother-in-law won't be like mother, but she has to tolerate. She can't become angry with her. Imagine she becomes angry and runs back to her mother won't be happy. And so she can't flee. At the same time, she can't fight also. She can't fight, she can't flight. She can't do both. What she has to do? She has to learn the art of living in a new place. Correct, no? Similarly, you are working in a company. In case you are moved from one department to another and the new boss is not as kind as the previous boss. Of course, all bosses are kind here. You have a good company. I'm just giving an example, not for you specifically. But in case you have a boss who works in a different way, and you have certain expectations, you feel uneasy, but you have to continue. Therefore, the agility I told you. Correct, no? So, many a times the surroundings are not easy to change, but you can change the way you think. So, like he rightly said now, the self-awareness helps you to modify your thought process. And you can only modify your thought process if you do self-awareness. So, 2-3 of them raised hand for that, which is very nice. So, others also can do that. Self-awareness means go outside your body and look at your own personality. For example, am I kind, courteous, helpful, cooperative, or am I harsh, selfish, I me mind-centered, and mostly I care about myself. I don't care about others. What type of person am I? Do I think and respond to people, or do I blurt out? So these kind of things we can think about. Am I perfect in my part of the duty? Or am I irresponsible? These kind of questions we can ask. So in this way, by looking at ourselves and asking about ourselves, so thinking means one is you should do self-awareness, which I told you just now. Another thing you should do is positively looking at things in life. Like you send a boy to your garden and ask him, what did you see in the garden? You'll say, the garden is full of thorny bushes, he may say. Someone else may come back and say, garden is full of fragrant roses. So it's a rose garden only, but one is seeing the rose, one is seeing the thorns, and both are there. Correct, no? In people also, you will see good side, bad side in all the people. If you're going to see the sunny side of people, then you are able to interact well. And if you see the bad side of people, we have trouble with everybody. So what is your choice? Are you going to see the good side of people or bad side of people? Good side. So the choice is ours. So thinking is modified by two things: self-awareness and positive thinking. And the third thing, behavior can be changed in, very easily behavior can be changed. Out of the three, this is the easiest one. You can change your behavior. Behavior means how you deal with others, how you do things. That's behavior. What is right? Choose right and discipline the right. Three things. So what is the right way of acting? You should know what is right way of acting, wrong way of acting. Know the difference between the two. And then choose the right. That's the second thing, making the right choice. Third one is do the right by disciplining the right. Discipline means you have to cultivate that habit of regularly choosing the right again and again. So can somebody give an example of a behavior which one would like to change, and answer these three questions for that? You got my question? Yeah. I'm just asking for an example of behavior. Making these three steps process. Knowing the right, choosing the right, doing the right. Any one behavior example you can give for that. Where is the mic? Who has the mic with you? Yeah. They are thinking. Thinking is a good habit, actually. They can think also. But you should come with an example. I will give you one clue for this. See, you have been having a routine way of doing in a certain way, and others around you are telling you, this is not, don't do like this. You change. And then you come to know that routine way I have to change. And then you found out that was wrong, this is right. That's the first one. Knowing the difference between the two. And then you choose to act in the right way, which is a new way, not that routine way you have been acting. That is choosing the right. And then how did you discipline the right? I can give a company example, but I don't want to give because I want it from your mouth. I will give a real personal life example. Say somebody is sleeping at 1 o'clock at night, for example. And then you saw a video on YouTube. There's a video which says why the top-notch CEOs of Apple and other companies rise at 4 a.m. Because early morning is the time when innovative, creative thoughts are activated in your mind. So they sleep at 10 and rise at 4. I have a 4-minute video. I can share with Niranjan sir, he will show you. Later on you can see that. So you saw that video and you really got motivated. That it's very bad for me to sleep at 1. Is there anybody here who sleeps at 10 here? Let us say, oh really? Amazing. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Amazing. Extraordinary. It's like devatas, I think, on earth. Nowadays, it's very rare actually for somebody to sleep at 10, isn't it? So, anybody sleeping later than 2 here? Nobody. Yeah. It's very good. I think students only sleep later than 2, I think. Okay. So, 10 is good. So, now you understood. So, you know what is right, what is wrong, correct? If you don't sleep at 10, you are very much cutting on your body. Because Pitta and all secretes at 10 o'clock, there are acids which secrete in your body. You have to be in the bed at 10. And I'm not saying that. You can see the best of the doctors across the globe after having studied the biological cycle, they're saying that. So now in case you didn't know about it, now you know about it. You know what is right and wrong, correct? That's knowing the right. And then what is the meaning of choosing the right? Following it. I want to choose to sleep at 10. But if I am used to sleeping at 1, will I be able to sleep at 10? Suddenly it will be difficult. Then third one is called disciplining the right, which means, okay, instead of 1, for 1 week I'll go at 12:30. Then next week I'll go at 12. Then third week I'll go at 11:30. Like that, gradually I bring my sleeping time to 10. That disciplining the right. Is that clear to everybody? So similarly, anybody wants to give your company life example of these 3 steps, changing your behavior? Anybody? Yeah.
So this is specific to one of my client. First of all, he doesn't listen. Second thing, he believes what he says is absolutely right. Nobody in this world is intelligent or better than him. So to transform him from, completely, 30,000 feet below the ground to, at least at the ground level, it's a first task, to understand
Correct.
that we are not equals. We are different.
Hmm.
You have your opinion, I have my opinion.
Correct.
And both our opinion matters. It is not only your opinion matters.
Correct.
So to bring him to that level, it's a very daunting task.
Correct.
And the next thing it comes is convince him, what you are saying is absolutely right, but what I am saying is also right. And this is the right way to approach with such people. So those things I deal every day. And coming to the stress, this is very stressful.
Correct.
2 hour every day.
Dealing with unreasonable people is most stressful.
Yes, they don't know what actually, they don't want to listen first. And they have an opinion. What happens, their side is right, but they don't want to listen also. So that's a very stressful scenario, day in, day out. And I just want to come out of it, how to convince those guys that
there are several ways to do that. One of the ways to deal with such fellows is put logistics which are not what is spoken by us. That is like, you put logical, reasonable things which are getting it from the world opinion of the best people, opinions given by the best people across the globe. If you put it and say that, see, this person says this company says this, you can compare this. Say you are demanding a commodity at, say, X amount, and you can see what these people are saying. Because then when you present a logical proposition into a friend, then actually he will take that more seriously than our opinion, generally speaking. Like I am from IIT Bombay. We have seen that most of us will not agree with anybody unless they quote some very good author.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah. When they quote an author and show it, like I am arguing with a friend, I say, this is it, he will not agree with me. I open a big bulky book and show him, see, page number 230 says this. Then he will agree. So that is one of the ways you can convince these people. That's one of the ways. And another thing is, we can tell them that the consequences of your unreasonable approaches, see, if you take this approach, this is the outcome. Or this is the outcome if you are willing to change. So the choice is yours. So put the ball in their court.
Absolutely. I will try to do one more scenario. So there was a, option you've written in, like, the boss is just do it. Nowadays with the teens, with the new age people, boss cannot even dare to say, what I am saying, do it.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
So how to deal with such young people, when for them, the job comes the last.
Correct.
And rest of their problem is the first.
Correct.
And end of day, we as a manager needs the job first. So
Yeah.
how to handle such people?
Yeah, that's a good question. See, I came to, I joined ISKCON in 1994. I joined. Within 3 years, I was made a double president. So I asked my governing body commissioners that, sir, generally in ISKCON, generally they make a person president after 10, 15 years. So I was made president in 3 years, not because I was highly qualified. There was no one else available at that time. So like a blind uncle is better than no uncle, we say. So I was posted that time. So at that time, I realized one thing. I have to deal with people under me who are not paid a single penny. They are voluntary workers, sevaks we call. So at one time we had 500 such people in the temple, and you can imagine how difficult it will be to deal with a person who doesn't accept a salary. It's purely based on inspiration. We have to deal with them. We call it as a like influence without authority, we call it, because authorities are very big people, and I am very young also. And these fellows are not much younger to me. They are little younger to me, so they are very difficult to deal with. So some of the principles Stephen Covey teaches in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and some of the principles by Robert Cooper and Daniel Goleman in Emotional Intelligence. You can read these 2 books. You will get a lot of valuable tips in this. But these books give you tips. You will know what is to be done. But the strength to do that, for that you will need Bhagavad Gita. Because the Bhagavad Gita gives you spiritual strength. With that knowledge, the skills these fellows are teaching can be applied. Otherwise, the skills remain in paper only. We can't apply. When we increase the strength of our character, then we will be able to influence people. Otherwise, it becomes, many times what happens, we want others to change, but we have certain traits which we may not be able to observe. Like say, if I have a carbon black on my nose, I will not know it unless any of you tell me. If any of you tell me that, sir, you have a carbon black on the nose, I look in the mirror, then I realize, then I put the soap and remove it. So, therefore, we can increase the strength of our character, because in spirituality, we teach humility, tolerance, respecting all, and freedom from expectation from others. These kind of things, like, doing our duty and let go. Things like that we learn in Bhagavad Gita, we learn. So based on these principles, we will be able to tackle people below us from whom we are not getting sufficient commitment and surrender. So I will tell you a few things what we can do with the people working with you in a team. In a family, for example, people work very hard for the family members, especially in India, we know very well. People actually bringing money and getting sisters married, getting the brother settled. People take responsibility because of blood relationship, correct? No? So the relationship helps a lot. How we deal with our team members. So there are 2 ways we can deal with the team members. One of the ways like a family culture. Another one is official autocratic culture. 2 types of culture. So if I, like here along with me is my video man, Shivaji. Yeah. So I can deal with him as a video man, or I can deal with him as my brother. So if I deal with him as my brother with proper emotional intelligence, then he will have feelings for me. And when the feelings for us arises in somebody's heart, then he will feel I should do something wonderful which will please me. So if my team members make an effort to please me, they will put that level best. But if they only work on an official basis, then they may not give their best. So this is one secret that we learn in the scriptures. The scriptures say that there are 2 hours of life which everyone is running after. One is relationship at home and results in office. We are looking for these 2 things, because when you get good results in office, you get professional success. And family success is a relationship. And if relationship is weak at home, then you are miserable at home. Similarly, if results are poor in the office, if somebody's business is nosediving, then it is a painful thing. Correct now. So for both hours to be accomplished, we have to work on quadrant 2. Anybody knows what is quadrant 2 in time management? What is it? Quadrant 2 is not urgent, but important. Not urgent, important. I'll be showing that. So there are 8 or 10 items you can do in quadrant 2. When I come to that, I'll show you. If you do those items, I can tell you, you will make a leap progress in working with the team. You will see that. You will make a tremendous big leap we can make by that. For example, I can take out time to train my people. And if people see that my boss is interested in equipping me with some very nice skills which will help me for my professional success also, then their affection for us increases, because he is actually making me a better individual. Rather than, pointing fingers to them that, see, you are so ill-equipped. You don't even know this, you don't know that, you are a muff, you are not working hard enough. So then do we want our relationship to be bitter or better? So by pointing fingers, it becomes bitter. By training them, it becomes better. So this is another one. So one is relationship, one is the training and education we can give for them. Another one is, as I told you, family culture versus autocratic culture. Like that, there are 8-10 things we can do, which, and also we should know that everybody's speed is different also. Everybody's speed is, some people are, you, like in Hindi we say, til mean tail. Huh? You ask for a sesame seed, they'll bring oil only for you. There are quick people like that. And there are others who are slow to understand also. So just like a mother knows the different children's nature, similarly a team leader also has to know who is who and what can I expect from whom. Although they may all be grown up in the same level, externally everybody looks the same, but their abilities are different. So in this way, there are various things said in quadrant 2, we can polish them and try to make them better. When it comes, we will talk more. And then, okay, this is the second one. The first one till now I told you about know the book of your life. Now, the second one is know your personality type. Now, here is an opportunity for you to do self-awareness of yourself. Look at yourself, every one of you, based on what we are going to share with you now. And you don't have to tell anybody. Keep it confidential. It is only for your information I'm showing you. You assess yourself, and then you can also think whether you need to bring about a change in your personality type. For example, look at these 3 people. Somebody can comment about these pictures. You can take the mic. Anybody who raises the hand, mic will come to you. And you can comment about the first picture, and then second, and then third one. Okay.
First one, if I look at, that the boss is very open and he's very receptive to feedback. So he's very, very open. The second one is typical 80s or 70s boss, where I have given you a task, do it, else take your walk.
And our subordinate appears to be incompetent, isn't it? So what do you think a boss could do in the second case when the subordinate is incompetent? And so who is suffering? Is boss suffering or subordinate suffering?
It is both,
Both, yeah.
So
Both are
technically place him in a place where he has his strengths lies, and shift it to a place where
Correct.
he will enjoy.
That's one thing we could do. Or we could keep him in the same place and get him trained and educated, polished, in case he is willing to take the training and grow out of this thing. That's also true, yeah. Yes, both are possible, yeah. Thank you.
And
the
third one is definitely that the boss is not competent enough.
Yeah, he's depressed.
Yeah, he is not interested. Then the entire team will not be interested. So
Correct.
He's leading for entire team towards a failure. So.
Yeah, thank you. All the 3, you very beautifully interpreted them. Very nice. So below that, the box shows, you see, goodness, passion, ignorance. So sattva, raja, tama, we call it. So I'm going to show you 3 slides which will tell about each of this. You see, tamoguna means ignorance, nidra, alasya, pramad. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna uses these 3 words. This is one type of personality. These people are people with tendency to oversleep. Night they will sleep 12 hours, daytime another 4 hours. Like that, they sleep a lot. And they're lazy. They don't take initiative. And they always copy from others. Like in college days also we have seen, one boy will do the assignment and 10 boys will copy. So they don't take initiative themselves. And they always think, let somebody else do and then I will watch it. And then pramad means madness. They put substances into the body which are very dangerous for the body, like a cigarette or a liquor or drugs. Very dangerous things they put into the systems, into the bodily system. So that is elaborated below if you see laziness, oversleep, inattentiveness, postponing, hopelessness and depression. And these are the fellows who get suicidal thoughts. You can see here. They're confused, bewildered, indecisive, insecure. So the example is given of a fox here. The fox is a very insecure creature. In my college days, in my town, I used to go through a main road. See, main road would go like this, long road, but there is a shortcut, which is a eucalyptus forest. So I used to go through that. So one villager told me, after 7 o'clock, don't return from the college through this eucalyptus forest. He said, the foxes are around. And when the foxes see somebody coming in a cycle, they would urinate on the sand, and they would mix it and hit the eyes like this, and to blind the person. People have become blind also by that. So I asked him why the foxes would do that. So he said the foxes are insecure creatures. They, if they see that somebody, they imagine somebody may harm me, and they hit like that. Similarly, these people actually cannot tolerate others' success. They always contemplate on others' failure, and they want to pull the leg of others and things like that. So they don't think at all. They are lethargic. They are drunk on liquor, and they are on addiction of drugs and all that. So they even sometimes become panicky. They cry. They get suicidal thought, depressed. So this is increasing in the world across the globe, especially amongst the youth people, because of the lifestyle. One type of lifestyle it is. And second one is very passionate person, over ambitious person. He's a workaholic. He will bury his head into the table. He will not plan. Oftentimes, what he wants to do is already done by someone else before. He will reinvent the wheel because he doesn't consult anyone. He's on his own. He's an individual player. He's not a team player, like a lion, you see. And he is in a grab credit mode, so he can't share the credit with others. So he's not a team player. So if he's given a team, also he has a bossing tendency. He will use the strength of his authority to control people. And he has a tremendous thirst for success and honor and prestige and distinction. He wants to stand out from the crowd. Like you see that fellow in the top left, he is running ahead of everybody. That's what he wants to do. And here below also, left bottom, you see, the three fellows are cooperating. He is not cooperating. He wants to be on his own. So these are actually people in passion. They are sometimes even envious of others also. And this is goodness. The cow example is given. It's a very mild animal. Similarly, the people who are in Sattva Guna, Sukham and Jnanam is given. Sukham means they are happy always. Jnana means they are wise. They are thoughtful people. They always think and act. So they always consider that I have to be empathic, and I should show sympathy to others, be friendly, kind, thoughtful in speech, noble, saintly. Like, for example, the philosopher, poet, scientist. So these are all examples given, people who actually are thinking people. Um, uh, Even the kings who are guided by saints, called Raja Rishi, we call them. So these are some of the qualities. They are very disciplined in habits, and they have a controlled mind and senses. So here is a quick situation tackling exercise for you. I wrote this poem. I will tell you the poem, and you have to give me the solution. Okay. A capsule tired of a long distance walk kept his basket aside and slept off under the shade of a banyan tree that was full with a group of mischievous monkeys. After a while, he got up from his sleep and found his basket was totally empty. The monkeys had picked up each one a cap, and wearing on the head soon climbed up the tree. That's what you see in the picture. They're all wearing a cap. So this businessman can behave in three ways. He can behave in ignorance, in passion, in goodness. Okay. Please don't answer all the three. I will request you to answer only one at a time. If he was in ignorance, what this businessman will do? If he was in ignorance, tamaguna. What possible? Please give the mic to him. Yeah.
He would just leave. I mean, he would see like the caps are wasted. I mean, they have taken it. There is no way he could get it back from the monkeys, and he would just
He may
leave
not
that
be able
spot.
to find out anyway. That's true. Yeah. What else he is likely to do apart from that? He may cry. He may become panicky. I lost my business. And that happened to some people in COVID time. When COVID struck, people were wondering that, oh, I'm doomed. They were not thinking of alternatives. So that is a situation of somebody in ignorance. Thank you. Somebody in passion, what is likely to do? Anybody? Who can guess about someone in passion? Anybody want to try?
He,
Anyone else? You can give the mic to. Yeah. He will give a try. Yeah.
I guess he is rather shout, scream,
Yeah, he may shout at the monkeys, give my caps back. He may shout.
scream, and just
He may scream.
throw stones at the monkeys.
He may throw stones at the monkeys. Because he's action oriented. He doesn't think, he thinks partially. So the only thinking he thought was, hey, they've taken my caps. Now I have to beat them up and get the caps back. Or he may take a stick and run around and all the monkeys will jump to the other trees and go away with the caps. He's not going to get the cap. Okay, if he's in goodness, what he will do? You are right. Thank you. If he was in goodness, what he would do? Anybody else wants to give a try? Because goodness means you think and act. How did he think?
So he may offer bananas and bring them back.
Okay.
Or he may want to.
So
try.
what made him offer the bananas to the monkeys?
Because anyway, he's thinking, I've lost my cap. I cannot resell because it's been worn by a monkey. So it is not usable. Rather do a good thing for the monkeys. If they come back and return, there is no harm in trying something different.
Right. Okay. So he was open-minded. Maybe I'll try giving bananas. Maybe they'll give the caps back. They may or may not give, but I'll give a try. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yeah. Yeah.
He may throw his cap so that monkeys can do that.
He may throw the cap in the basket. I think some of you may know the story in India. It's a well-known story. So my question to you is not about the man throwing the cap in the basket. What made him throw the cap in the basket? That's the question.
Monkeys can follow. So that monkeys can follow him.
So how did he know monkeys will follow? Because he was aware of the psychology of monkeys. He knew that. So even all of you need to know the psychology of a customer, right? See, if you know your customer needs, you will talk from your point of view or their point of view. Yeah. So when will you be a good seller? When you talk from whose point of view? Customer's point of view. So his customer is who? Monkeys. And he knows their psychology. So so therefore he understood that, monkeys have a habit of copying. Whatever you do, they repeat. So he took his cap and put in the basket and they all threw. Which means goodness means you think and act. Whereas passion means you partially think and act. And ignorance means no thinking, no acting. So which one you think appears most ideal out of the three? Ignorance or passion or goodness? Okay, that comes here. You see here, the Sattvic is enlightened soul, the noble man of perfection, of love and compassion. And a commercial businessman is a Rajasic or aggressive person, full of selfish drive, prone to active life for profiteering, for money making. You need a combination, as our sir rightly said. He said, what's your good name? Anurag. Anurag rightly said, the combination makes you assertive leader. Assertive means you are not aggressive, you are not just noble. A businessman needs to have a combination of these two, naturally. Being assertive. Like, if you are a commercial businessman, you are a leader. And if you are Sattvic, you are a saint. When you combine the saintliness to a leader, then he becomes assertive. So this makes you a very powerful leader, polite and firm, bold and sensitive, courageous and considerate. You have to combine these two habits. Actually, if you are only considerate, you will be cheated. If you are only courageous, customer will run away. You need a combination of courage and considerate behavior. Therefore, in the Vedic times, they used to use the word Raja Rishi. Like Shivaji Maharaj had this Samarth Ramdas and Tukaram guiding him. So he had a combination of, because Raja means like a flood. He has passion. Can a flood do any good? Flood cannot do good, but a dam can do good. So when you put a dam, then the flood can be stopped and the water can be used properly. Similarly, the goodness puts a little restriction on your passion. And then the passion can be used properly. It harnesses your passion. Yeah. So, see, simple method to save wastage of time, waste time and worry time, and how to expand your available time. So now, one more activity is coming, very simple, small activity is coming here. See, you all have to, in your own mind, put plus or minus for each of this. Okay? Are you good in planning? Are you good in working? Or are you good in striking relationships with people and friendliness with friendships with your colleagues? Which one are you good at? See, 1 out of the 3 you may be extremely good at. If you are a people, that means you are in which one out of the 3? Third one, interacting. If you are very hardworking, you turn out a lot of good work for the company, you are in which one? Doing. And if you are actually like R&D type of head you have, thinking, and you always plan ahead of time. You make schedule for months in advance. So you are in which one? Plan. So now you put plus, minus, depending on which one you are good at, you put plus. Whichever one you are not good at, you put minus. So when you are done, then I will show you the answers about what type of personality you are. You can see that. Okay? You ready? Okay. See, if you got plus, 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 you are a very balanced person, which is extremely rare. If you got plus, plus, minus, that means you plan and you do, but you don't interact with people at all. You are on your own. If you got minus, plus, plus, that means you help other people so much that you don't do your work. This is one type of people. And you get scolding also. Why you haven't done your work? You are helping others. And plus, minus, plus, if you got, you have good intentions, but no work is getting done, you see. You plan a lot and you talk to people, waste a lot of time, but there is no good work done. So, in case you are only planning, other 2 things you got minus, minus. That means we are called as daydreamer. Is daydreaming good or bad? It is good. Dreaming is good, but daydreaming is not good. Because dreaming with the deadline means goal setting. Dreaming with deadline means goal setting. Dreaming without deadline means daydreaming. So, what should we do? Goal setting or daydreaming? Yeah, we should. That means a dream with a deadline. That means, say 2 minutes you plan, 1 hour you work, 5 minutes you interact. Again 2 minutes you plan, 1 hour you work, another 5 minutes you take a puff of fresh air, stretch your hands and sit. Then your efficiency is tripled actually. After 5-6 hours also you won't get tired. But if you continuously work for 3 hours, then you want to rest 1 hour. So anyway, many scientists are finding out many things nowadays based on these things. Actually, you should do all the 3. If you do one of it more, like you see the middle fellow, he's a workaholic. We had one seminar from Bhagavad Gita, work and be holy, not a workaholic. We had a seminar. So people friendly, but poor at finishing work. Some people are popular people. Everybody likes them for their friendliness, but no work will be done. That is also useless. Okay, see this? If somebody got plus, minus, minus, daydreamer. Minus, plus, minus, workaholic. These fellows are delightful fellows. And if you got minus, 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 very dangerous it is. Then very unproductive. Then they really have to seriously think about modifying their lifestyle. Okay? So these are all minus time managers. See, if you got 2 plus, you are a plus time manager. If you got 2 minus, we are minus time manager. That means out of these 3, we should be able to do at least 2 good. Even if you are planning and doing, company will be very happy with you, even if you cannot interact with others. Because at least this fellow plans well and does well. But if somebody is doing his work well and interacting with others also, he may not plan ahead. Somebody else plans for him sometimes. You find that. But it shouldn't happen that we get 2 minuses. It's not very good. That modify. You see, there are 3 symptoms of stress and burnout. Especially one is the exhaustion, you can see here. One of the challenges that our world faced recently in the last 1 or 2 years, when due to the COVID striking the world, work from home started. You all know that. Then work from home, work from office, there was no difference. The line between office and home vanished. Because of which now many people have started working 16 hours, 18 hours, and their head is spinning now. Even at sometimes they don't know where to draw the line. So they get exhausted sometimes. You become cynical. You become cynical means in the process by which you try to psychologically distance yourself from your job. Instead of feeling excited about your projects and assignments, you feel detached. You even feel cold and callous towards colleagues and customers. You sort of switch off yourself. And this is yeah. So the first one was exhaustion, getting exhausted. You can't concentrate, do your work. See, this fellow is fearing the phone. You saw the right one bottom. Any phone call he fears. You see. And this cynicism, inefficacy means you feel incompetence at work. And then one is worrying too much, spending more in worry time, not in constructive time. So these are all symptoms of burnout. So too much into technology also. Look at this fellow, his head is clouded with so many things. So modern society is faced with these challenges: financial, health crisis, relational, professional, family demands, and time management. Okay. Now, after showing this, I will be giving an activity for you. You can see this one. Quadrant 1 means do now. It's very urgent. It's breakdown maintenance. If you don't do it now, there will be big damage. I will give you a very simple example. If you don't do things in quadrant 2, it will come to quadrant 1. It's called preventive maintenance is quadrant 2. And breakdown maintenance is quadrant 1. Any of you have a habit of postponing, you are likely to face quadrant 1. Like if what is to be done in 1 week, you keeping it. Then the last day, your boss will be on the top of your head. He will say that today you have to complete it now. Then it comes to quadrant 1. It becomes super urgent. It becomes. Because so many other people are waiting for us to complete and give the task. So like gas cylinder at home also. If a wife is telling the husband, gas cylinder will get over in 1 week, and then 3 days. And then she says only 1 day. And on the last day, this fellow didn't bring gas cylinder. It comes to quadrant 1. Then she will say, now sabji is half cooked now. Go and get the cylinder now. He has to drop all his other work and go to get the cylinder now. It's like that. So, therefore, quadrant 2 is the most intelligent thing to do. If you see, for example, if you do yoga, pranayama, meditation, you keep a healthy body and mind. If you do planning and preventive maintenance, your business is very healthy. You are well planned in advance. And you are also doing preventive maintenance. You foresee, like for example, I make my calendar for the whole year I make, January to December. This December, I have the calendar for the next year, full year I have. Of course, as the months approach closer, I will add more finer components into my calendar. But I know overall how the year is going to go. Because two weeks I'm in Pune, third week I'm in Hyderabad, fourth week I go to 14 places in India, and 3 months in a year I go to US. So these are all planned in advance, where I will go, when, what programs I will do. So when you are planned in advance, not only it relieves me of the anxiety, and people who are expecting me in different places, and my calendar is online available. Anybody can go to online and download and see my calendar all across the globe, whomever I'm connected to. So in this way, for them also no headache, and for me also no headache if you're planned in advance. So I work in quadrant 2. Similarly, I also do preventive maintenance also. Because each of you can think in your own workplace how you will apply this. And self-development and relation building is a very valuable thing. I was telling our Mr. Anurag the same point about relation building with people. And that type of, therefore many companies do these type of seminars where they think apart from their regular things in workplace. Because this opens up your mind. It makes you think differently. And self-development means you develop your personality. Varieties of ways. And then training, education, empowerment, you see. Actually, we call it as a TEEE, we call it. Train, educate, engage, empower. So first you train a person, training and in practical things, and educating means classroom thing, for skills and everything, technical skills and all. And then engage a person in the particular field, and then watch a person. If the person is doing well, then you can empower that person by delegating the authority, like that. So all this is done in quadrant 2. Very valuable it is. It's very valuable. So quadrant 2 and quadrant 1 both are good, but quadrant 2 is better than 1 also. Because quadrant 2 is sattva guna. Quadrant 1 is rajoguna. So quadrant 1 and 2 can be taken together. As our Mr. Anurag said that point, we can combine both. But quadrant 3 and 4 are useless. See here. Any of you got any useless phone calls? Or some things occupying your time, which later on you felt it was a waste of time? Some examples you can give. When did you realize that, oh, I wasted my time in that? I could have, instead of me doing it, I could have asked someone else to do it. I have a lot of experience with this. Sometimes, in my computer, I will try to figure out how to solve this particular problem in the computer. After 1 hour of struggle, then I will call him and tell him, see, this computer is giving this trouble. And he will come and finish in 2 minutes and go. Later on, I would realize, because I wasted my time in an area which is not my area. Somebody else could have done it. Similarly, many things nowadays I delegate to other people. Because delegating you can do as you grow in your career, higher and higher. Then you have people to delegate also. What you should only do, what you should delegate. You should know the difference between the two. And the 4th quadrant is delete. It's completely good for nothing. It is neither urgent nor important. Unproductive engagements. One of the famous unproductive engagement is the smartphone. Smartphone has so many things you receive nowadays. Many of the people don't even read the message, they pass it to others when it comes. And the other person is appreciating, hey, thank you for the message. And he's asking, what was it? He doesn't even know what he passed to others. We share everything without even knowing what it is. So, actually, smartphone can be your servant, or smartphone can make you a slave. So, what do you prefer? You want smartphone as your servant, or you want to be a slave of smartphone? So, if you're a slave of smartphone, you are in quadrant 4. So, that is tamaguna. Our thinking, acting, it makes us very dull-headed because of that. So, one very strange thing in this world, people are increasing the number of WhatsApp numbers in their smartphone, but the time is same only. Is 24 hours increased to 25 or 26 hours? If 24 hours doesn't change, but the number of numbers is increasing. This is how the life becomes stressful for us. So now, quadrant, this is tamaguna, I told you, ignorance. And the quadrant 3 also, not important but urgent. It is a combination of passion and ignorance. So quadrant 1 and 2 are the most useful ones. Yeah, please.
So if you go back, so in delegate, so there are few people when they are afraid of delegating, they feel that they will get insecure and their jobs will be taken by someone else. So how to communicate with them that when they are delegating,
They should do something extraordinary after some years, which their new younger ones cannot do. Therefore, you should have some special abilities as you grow in your, say for example, somebody is joining your company at 21 or 22. So you are 35, for example. A person at 35 should have his own unique features, which the 22 age person cannot do. See, if somebody is doing coding at 22, and at 35 also is doing coding, then many companies think, what's the use of this person? He's taking a big salary, and he is doing the same thing. There's companies, and the companies think, in his salary I can employ 3 fellows, and the work can be speeded up. Like that, companies have started thinking like that. Of course, we may say it's very cruel, but companies don't worry about morality and all nowadays, many companies, because they also worry about money. Correct, no? So therefore, as we grow in our seniority, there are things which the senior most person, he only can do. When you have such things, item, one, this is one thing, this is second thing, this is third thing. More the items, then you will very happily delegate to others. Because there is a saying, give up to go up. Huh? You have to give up this level things, then you can go up. And you can do more and more higher things of advanced nature. And also, your growth in your career should actually make you, like we say, no, think globally, act locally. So that type of mindset is required for grown-up leaders as we grow also. Then we won't have fear. Otherwise, if I'm doing the same work, I fear that if I become redundant or I may become good for nothing, that kind of fear is there. I agree with you. Another fear that comes is people fear that, I only can do this work good. If I give it to my subordinate, they will mess it up. That fear is also there. Like, one friend told his friend that, can you please, take this setting sun, with a camera. And that fellow was holding the camera like this. Hey, you're taking at the blue sky, hold it like this. He was holding, hey, you're taking at the, snapshot of the blue waters on the down, hold it like that. Then his friend said, if you're going to micromanage me so much, you only click the photo, He gave the camera back to him. So some people micromanage too much. That is not liked by the subordinates also. So somewhere we have to trust them. And also we should let them commit mistake and learn and come out of it. Yeah. See, here I'm going to give you very, very practical tips. These are all easy to apply in your daily life. See, keep distractions to minimum. That's what I told you about smartphone, correct? Second one, breaks tasks into smaller pieces and save time. If you see a big task, you will be sitting as if you are bogged down completely. Make it into small tasks and do it. Prioritize work based on the urgent important chart. Prioritize work. Don't spend too much time talking on phone. We should cultivate a habit. Some people have a habit of talking too long on phone. Sometimes 10 minutes, 20 minutes they talk. So if somebody else is talking to you like that, what will you do? See, they will say this is, and this, and therefore yesterday this, and they will go on. How will you stop them? So you can tell them that, thank you. I would love to talk to you more, but I have next 2 minutes, I have time to be with you. After that, I have another important appointment I have to go. If you say like that, then they will conclude. And neither should we talk too long, nor should we allow others to talk very long on phone. We lose a lot of time. Delegate parts of the project to others. These are 5 things I have given. They're very simple to save your time. Save your personal time. Okay, now you have to tell the answer now. You have to tell me ignorance, passion, or goodness, okay? I'm going to show you 10 time wasters. I'm going to show you how we all waste our time unknowingly. And these are only clues. And we may be doing hundreds of things similar to this, okay? These are like samples, okay? First one, somebody can read this, take the mic and read it. Others will tell us it's in which mode. Is it ignorance, passion, or goodness? Who has the mic with you? I can read it. One of you can read it, please.
Never setting goals or setting goals and not sticking to them.
Yes. Which mode is it? Ignorance. Correct. Ignorance. They don't take initiative. They don't plan.
Moving around and socializing too much to feel security.
Which mode it is? Yeah? Yes, somebody said passion, somebody said ignorance. Which one you all feel together? Yes? Actually, this is ignorance because the word insecurity is used. His purpose of socializing is to feel security. Yeah.
Low level of concentration, getting easily distracted by trivial things.
Yes. This is passion. Why? Passion means even when you give them a TV remote, they will not watch one channel. They'll always keep jumping to 2 dozen channels, they'll be jumping. That is passion. Passion means you don't focus on one thing at a time. You always get, tend to get distracted. Which will give you more profit? This or this or this or this. You keep on hopping and jumping. Distraction comes in passion. Yeah, vikshepa. Yeah.
Doing more than one thing at a time and expecting unrealistic deadlines.
Accepting, yeah. And yes? Passion. That's passion, yeah. Actually, this causes stress when you take unrealistic deadlines. See, your body also has a limit. If you see the temperature, if it goes beyond 25, you will immediately need a fan or AC. If temperature goes below 15, you immediately need some, heat pump or something. Body has temperature limits. Similarly, mind has also limits. Yeah? Mind gets fatigued if you take unrealistic deadlines. Okay?
Getting involved in everything to gain credit and popularity.
Yes. Passion. Yeah, that's also passion.
Indecisive and postponing decisions.
Yes? Ignorance. Yeah.
Thinking no one else can manage my work if I'm absent.
Passion. Yeah.
Feeling difficulty to work with highly accomplished and smart leaders.
Passion is generally passion. It may be insecurity, then it is in ignorance, but generally it's passion. Passion means one is unable to work with others, and especially, two lions cannot work together. Two people, like, they have difficulty sometimes. Yeah.
Forgetting things or badly organized unclean desk.
Ignorance. Yeah. Cluttered desk.
Looking for too much of perfection in job leading to micromanagement.
Passion. Yeah. So you get an idea from this how our time goes off. If you can know how our time goes off, then we can save time, isn't it? So this is what I told you, 2 hours of life. You're looking for a relationship that brings joy, and results also brings joy. So these are all quadrant 2. This you can keep in mind. You can take a snapshot of this and keep in mind. Somebody can read all the, I have given you totally 8, I have given you items in this. Can read it? If you're a smart worker, you focus on all this 8. Okay?
Better preparation.
Yes? So the first one is improving communication with people.
Improving
And then?
communication with people.
Yeah. And then better preparation.
Better preparation.
Yes.
Better planning and organizing.
Yes.
Taking better of self. Seizing new opportunities. Personal development. Preventive maintenance. Empowerment.
Yes. So these are worth spending time on. And I spend a lot of time in this quadrant actually, because we have a community of 6,000 members. I spend all my time in this, training, educating them, empowering them in different positions. 6,000 married members, and we have like 250 monks. So paying attention to these people, I have a team in Hyderabad and team in Pune and teams in America. So if I don't plan and organize, many of them actually expect me to make some plans and send them. And I hold many camps where we bring even the leaders, like train the trainer type of courses also we do. Yeah. That's what effective time management means. Spending more and more time in quadrant 2 activities which are important and not urgent. Okay. So here are some items which boost your mode of goodness, sattva guna. I've given you A, B, C, D, E. Very simple formula. One is association with saintly people makes you like a Raja Rishi. You can be an engineer Rishi. You can be a doctor Rishi also. You can be a professional man and a Rishi still, saintly in your thinking. A woman can be saintly, a man can be saintly in thinking. Because you get the true north principles, how to act in life. So you need to, if you read, for example, if you, like you came for a session today, and we had some wise thoughts sharing, and we discussed many things today. So these kind of things you'll be getting some books. Niranjan sir has arranged nice books for you. So when you read those books, you will see that how helpful they are in your daily life. You will see that, like books like Bhagavad Gita, associating with saintly people is people who are practicing such a life. And then there's a chanting also, meditation. When it comes, I'll show you the slide. And the diet and the environment. See, where do you get your association from? The kind of novels you read. Nowadays, people are reading any kind of novel. You don't know that you are programming your head with that novel. In America, there was a detective novel published, which led to some 20 murders. And the murderers had used the techniques given in the book. That means they have read the book. So you become what you read. If you read Bhagavad Gita and such kinds of literature, you become enlightened leaders. Our country has had leaders like Dr. Radhakrishnan, Rajagopalachari, Gandhi. These people always carried a Gita with them. You will see that. So noble leaders were there. But over the time, now people are reading many other novels and their minds are becoming polluted. So what type of movies you watch? What type of music you hear? Are you hearing a 120 decibel rock music which disturbs your biological rhythm? Or you hear a soothing music? In America, yoga and kirtan are very popular in America. So like we were singing in the beginning, and this type of classical devotional music is very soothing to the mind and brings balance to the mind. And the kind of friendships you keep. So the garbage in, garbage out, good in, good out. That is mentioned there. Whatever you put in comes out. That's association. Books of wisdom like Gita, Hitopadesha, Chanakyanidhi, Panchatantra, Mahabharata, Ramayana. Many nice books are available. Yeah. Meditation, breathing exercises, chanting. So these are very helpful for your personal, bodily and mental development. And here is Dr. Herbert Benson. He says these 4 things. Sit in a quiet environment, in a comfortable position, Padmasana, and repeat a prayer. And that's what we repeat. A prayer. This mala we chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So totally 108 manis are there in this, which takes you 10 minutes to chant. Like this. You try this 10 minutes. If you don't have mala with you, you can chant with your fingers also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, you can start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you are sitting in a park, even with your fingers you can count. When you finish 10, you fold your finger like this. 10 more. So now how many are over? 50. Then again you chant 10, 10 and then release them. It becomes 100. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 108. Sitting anywhere, on any time of the day, you can chant. Try this. It will be very calming to mind. For example, if you're disturbed by somebody's talk or disturbed by some happening situation or something, you just close your eyes and sit in the park and just chant one round and see how much difference it makes. And do it for a week. If you don't get any benefit, you can anyway give it up. You will not lose anything. And even in 1 week, you can see a big difference. And then he's saying a passive attitude free from thoughts, which means when you are chanting, mind will plan about tomorrow. It will bother about yesterday. So take away the mind from those thoughts and try to hear the sound vibration. Therefore, mantra is very important. Once when I was in my traveling in US, there was one prayer room was written in an airport. So I went to the prayer room thinking that I can do my chanting there. I already saw one Muslim was chanting with a glass, like a glass rosaries. There was also one Christian sitting and doing his chanting Hail Mary also. And I also sat and chanted my Hare Krishna also. All of us were chanting. So that day I felt that every religion actually teaches you to chant and calm your mind and develop inner strength. The courage to face failures and challenges in life. The ability to tolerate provoking situations. And being humble in the face of like trouble giving people also. All that. See, this is a Harvard University research. They have found that those who are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, 8 to 13 is the yellow zone. They are in alpha zone. And above 13 is active and above 18 is hyperactive. And many of the managers whose blood pressure rises due to job tension, they go even up to 21 also. They said beyond 24, a person dies also because of not able to take the pressure of the hyperactivity. And below 8 is drowsy, and below 3 is sleep. That is tamaguna. So below 8 is tamaguna, above 13 is rajaguna, and 8 to 13 is sattvaguna. And by chanting daily, you increase sattva in your system. That means you can think and act. Yeah, this is a sattvic diet. It increases your creativity, calmness, clear thing. Like cow's milk, if you drink, it will actually nourish your brain tissues. You can actually think well. Actually, the Brahmanas traditionally in Vedic times used to drink cow's milk, and their brain tissues were nourished, and they can memorize thousands of shlokas. Early morning, they rise in Brahma Muhurta time like that. On the other hand, if we eat other things, like for example, this is sattvic food, juicy, wholesome and pleasing to heart and everything. Vegetarian food, like this. This is a prasadam plate. See, don't think by eating vegetarian you'll become weak. Even elephant is vegetarian. You can see giraffe is vegetarian. They are all very strong creatures. And if we eat passionate food, that means Lord Krishna says that too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning. He says that causes distress, misery, and disease. He says. So then passion is increased. There is a reason for this. One more thing I'll show you also. This is ignorance foods. Foods prepared and kept for more than 3 hours before being eaten, tasteless. Like, some people keep it in the fridge and every time take it out and they heat it in a microwave and they eat it for the whole week. Sometimes in my travels, I found people cook only once a week they cook. Other days they don't cook. Actually, we eat 3 times and all 3 times we cook fresh and offer it like that. So, one thing I wanted to say about the foods and passion, you heard of adrenaline? Adrenaline and the endorphins. Endorphins are actually pleasure hormones. You feel happy, endorphins. Adrenaline causes you stress. How do adrenaline secrete? It's there in this part of the head, medulla oblongata. We call it cerebrum, medulla oblongata. They call this portion as the endocrine orchestra, they call it. Your stiff neck comes because of the secretion of adrenaline here in this portion when you are working. Now, for whom does the adrenaline secrete, if you ask? Adrenaline is a fearful hormone, violent hormone. So if you eat products of violence like animal meat, for example, when you're killing the animal, animal becomes fearful. And if it cannot escape, it becomes violent also. Like one time, some of my friends, when school days, we were chasing after a big pig, with piglets. And all the pig along with the children was running. We were taking a stick and running behind it. So he was afraid of us. He was fleeing. After reaching the dead end of the street, he turned around and showed his teeth. Then we started running away. Now he became violent. Initially he was fearful. Now he became violent. Similarly, products like meat products are actually violent. There's violence and fear involved. If you eat that, we also develop. So violence is in which guna? Sattva-guna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna. Which one? Rajaguna. And fear? Tamaguna. So then do you want to increase Tamaguna, Rajaguna? Then those products actually increase this. But Sattvic Ahar, it increases Sattva-guna. It's clear? It's a very scientific fact it is. So now I have finished this part, and because we did some discussion, I could not do the other part, which is this I couldn't do today. This I can show you only the basic ones. I'll show you in this. So how can I not allow my mind to be programmed by the environment or situation? How can I learn to forget unpleasant memories and forgive people and still stay with them lifelong? In a family situation, relationship becomes all important, because if you are going to be careless in dealing with your spouse or with children, then lifelong you have to stay with them. You can't be neglectful in that. How to be less distracted and be more focused in my work or study, and I have increased concentration. How can I learn about mind control and apply it for the well-being of everyone around myself? See the fourth picture, you see both mother and wife are pulling him in either side, because both want to control them. People are trying to control. So how can we relax it from day-to-day work life? So all these things are answered in this seminar, because the negative people around us, how to stop absorbing the negativities. Yeah. See, man can control practically everything, even including the lion and elephant also. But man has failed to control his own mind. And he's become a slave of his desire. He's losing temper and over ambition. So these are weaknesses of the man who has accomplished so much in this world. Therefore, self-management means responsible for our speech, behavior, action, everything. You see, your own personal competence means you are self-aware. Just like 2-3 of them raised a hand that they are doing self-awareness, watching them. And after watching yourself, you modify your behavior. That is self-management. And social competence means you are aware of the needs of the people around you. Needs, interests, concerns, and expectations. So those people who are aware of the people, like I am coming to a company here now today. If I don't know your needs and I simply give a Bhagavad Gita class here, you will not be able to understand. The way I speak in the temple is different. The way I speak to all of you is different. So because I need to know your needs, how I can help you, correct, no? At the same time, I'm giving you the Vedic principles in a way you can adapt it to your life, correct? So then it's called social awareness. And then the social competence is relationship management. You know how to relate with different people. So self-management basically means managing your emotions. So only one thing I want to show you here about, this is the only slide I want to show you. This is a secret is revealed in this. When you feel stress, that is very important for you to know. See, generally we all have one wrong notion about stress, which I will tell you. We think that the atmosphere is stressful, therefore I am feeling stress. People say it is not true. Stress is actually your response mechanism within your system to an external stimuli. And that response is different for different people, for the same given situation. Somebody may take the same situation too seriously. Somebody may not take it too seriously. So therefore, stress varies from individual to individual. Like give the mic to him.
So when you have you have in the chat, like you have a stimulus and then you perceive something, and if you don't find a action to do, then you get stressed.
Correct.
Because you don't know.
Correct.
So here, like, should you accept your fate, or how should you?
Yes.
I mean, when you don't you don't know all the solutions. I mean, that there would be like dead end, like when you know there is nothing remaining, or you might not have that intelligence by that time, or you might be.
I would consult my superiors.
Right.
I will take their experience. For example, say I am working in the company 5 years, for example. Somebody has worked 20 years. So I can go to a 20-year experienced person and say, sir, this is a new situation for me. I am facing
what
a dead
if you are not like convinced and you kind of don't agree to that point of view, or
then apart from consultation, we can also read literature which will give you some information about this new situation you are facing. Correct, no? Nowadays everything is in Google search. You can get things consultation you can do in Google also and get. So it's not that there is a dead end for us. There are other ways out. But now,
should you keep looking for the solution, or do you have a hard stop after where you give up? What should be your mindset?
See, you have your own discretion, by which you arrive at a decision. What I would do generally, I would make my decision and I will consult my superiors and check with them. This is what I am. See, for example, when to give up a customer, or when to pursue him. We have, we have that situation sometimes. So, like our Mr. Anurag was telling about unreasonable customer sometimes. So, sometimes a person may appear unreasonable, but he will be ready for a break-even type of, with a little profit, we can still have him because he's going to be our long-term customer in case. I'm just giving an example. So therefore, in such kind of situations, I would draw from the experience of others also, what they would do with this kind of fellow, what I should talk, how I can make him, understand the good sense and things like that. After that, we may make a decision, and all our decisions always don't succeed. Sometimes they may fail. We learn from our mistakes also. This is another thing. When you commit mistake, how do you respond? Actually, we can learn from the mistake and then grow out of it. Next time, can I commit a mistake? Yes, but a new one, not the same one. If I commit also, it should be a new one. So I don't repeat the mistakes. So we can learn and grow out of it.
Do you measure a performance like that, where you were able to succeed here, you had a challenge, and
oh, definitely.
So you should keep a ratio like how
it is actually called performance appraisal. We call it every 3 months. We should do that. What did it do in the last 3 months? How did it go? Like we call it as a highlights and lowlights. We call it. Generally, people only present the highlights, but at least lowlights we should keep with ourselves in order for us to come out of. Next time we don't repeat it. So here I will give you an example. Say there is a big noise coming on the road. Like that, a big sound you hear. Immediately mind says, maybe some bomb blast. Maybe somebody is going to put bomb in my house and something is going to happen and things like that we fear. But then you stick your neck out of the window, you find, somebody's scooter tire has burst. That turns into an amusement for you, correct? No? And that is how the stress can be relieved. Once you know this one word you all can remember, threat, percept, and real threat. Which means perceived threat, real threat. So most of our problems are perceived threat or real threat. Perceived threats. Actually, there is no real. Like a snake comes on your road, that's real threat. But otherwise, many times we have many perceived threats. Like you are working in a job. When COVID comes, people fear, maybe I'll be laid off. And many people were not laid off. But some people feared it so much, they got so many diseases because of that. They got mental and physical problems because of too much fear. The modern day situations are all very much, inconclusive. Like for a job situation, like a man and woman are getting married nowadays. In those days, parents would think that if I got my daughter married, big responsibility is finished. But now you can't think like that. 3-4 years later, she comes home and says, I have divorced now. There are problems now. There's a fear. You can see that. So in the same manner, in relationships, there are crises now. In job, there is crisis. So uncertainties. World under uncertainty. So therefore, there is a perceived threat. So these things which I have given you, there is a pocket book you will be getting called as Stress to Smile. There you will get all these things in very great detail. They are explained. So each of it is explained. I will stop here. Let me take some, if I have probably 5 minutes, I can take some question. Can I take some question for 5 minutes? Yeah. You can take the mic, any of you. So the book is very elementary, very easy to understand. The same way I have been speaking to you, that's the way I made the book. It's called as 12 Tips to Converting Stress to Smile. Okay? You can see that yourself. Yeah. So you all can share one point which is stuck to your mind today, which you feel that was a good point, you liked it, and you could gain some learning through it. So you can take the mic. Each of you can say one point. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I kind of the last one where you said about the stress management, where you put the highlights and the lowlights, where so whichever you were not able to do, you kind of keep those tally and you find out the mistakes you made and you keep a log of it, and the ones you did good, that
Yeah.
also is a learning for you. So you
Exactly.
kind of don't take the stress there, but
Correct.
you kind of keep a log of it and
Yes.
not, I mean, not believe in the fate or be depressed like things didn't work out or you didn't get the result what you
Correct.
wanted, but you
Yes.
kind of see it as it is
Yes.
and go
That's
to the
good.
next
That is a
move.
good attitude. It is. Like some people lament chronically, which is actually no good. Like one time, we were going in a train, So just before boarding the train, five of us. So in the morning they had cooked very nice, they call it as paratha, they call it like chapati kind of thing, and sabji and sweet and everything they packed very nicely. So at 1 o'clock, I told the other fellows, please take the lunch, let's have lunch. So they were searching the lunch packet, they couldn't find it. Then they called the temple and asked, we were packing all the luggage and everything, just check it whether it is there. They went and saw that we had taken all our luggage except the lunch bag. Now everybody was lamenting, alas, now we didn't carry the lunch with us. So one fellow was telling, oh, in that lunch packet there was paratha, there was sabji, there was this sweet. He said, good to dream about it. The more you dream, the more you'll be frustrated. So don't think about the past. huh? Always think what can be done now and in future. That is, therefore it is said, past is a history, future is a mystery, current moment is the down cash in your hand. So that's what you should focus on. So and learn from mistakes and grow out of it, and don't get stuck in the old failures. That's a nice learning. Thank you. Anybody else? Any one point you remember today? What you done today? We spoke about three gunas. We spoke. Actually, anybody remembers the three tips I gave? Tip 1, tip 2, tip 3. Smart for art of smart work. 3 tips. I think one was book of your life. I think another one was know your personality. Are you in tamaguna, rajaguna, satoguna? That was one. Then another tip was about how to avoid time wasters. So those things I elaborated very much for you. Correct? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Anybody? Yeah. You remember? Yes. Correct. Yes. Correct. Unnecessarily we generate stress by imagining problems. Yeah. Sometimes problems are not as big as we imagine. For example, if one of your friends doesn't wish you in the morning, good morning, maybe his mind is preoccupied with some worry at home. Not that he hates you. Or mind imagines, because so and so didn't wish good morning, I think that person has a problem with me. That's imagined threat. Yeah. Yes. Anybody else? Yeah. Like, two colleagues are working in the same company. Boss is sending one of them to Germany and is telling the good news that to him, I'm going to send to Germany next week. You're going for 6 months training. Other fellow thinks, what about me? I think boss doesn't like me to go for, he doesn't want to send me abroad. I think he imagines so many things in his mind. Later on, he goes to boss and says, sir, we both joined at the same time. I also did the work. You were very happy with me. Why are you not sending? He says, no, coming 6 months, I have some very important work for you to do here. After that, I'm planning to send you, he says. Then immediately, in the pocket of stress in his mind is dissolved. He was imagining that boss doesn't like me. That mind imagines many things. Most of the stress is caused by imagination. If you read the book, you will come to know many examples are given there, many activities also in that. Anybody else remember anything today? I think we spent a considerable time in self-awareness also, I think. Yeah.
Regarding the stress, whatever you said, and the regarding the stress, what you said, I actually remembered my own self while I was in US. So faced a lot of stress after my masters. I had a hard time in the end finding a job in the end, so I couldn't get an H1. So I had to come back. I came back only after realizing, like a few months before I came back from there. I went to the grocery store, and one monk from ISKCON from Dallas, he gave me the book Bhagavad Gita, the one which Srila Prabhupada wrote. So I read that, and I realized that I need to self-examine myself, and what is the main thing that I'm really excel at. So I analyzed myself over like a month, and then thought like these are the things which I excel, and I need to work on these things. And then yeah, it really helped me a lot.
Very good. That's very good. How many years ago it was?
It was like 5 years ago.
Okay, that's very good. Very good. Arjuna also was under great stress in the beginning of the Gita. At the end, he became very super confident because the hearing of Bhagavad Gita brings you out of our like we are like a frog in the well many times. We don't see a bigger picture of life. Like a boy, in the seashore is making some sandcastle. He thinks the whole life is about making sandcastle only. When the sandcastle is washed away by the ocean waves, he thinks everything is finished. But his relationship is not with the, ocean bank. His relationship is with the parents. Similarly, we also can get a bigger picture of life when we read Gita. That's true. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Any other point you remember? I can show you the PPT probably. If I show you the PPT, you will
Hi, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Sir, how true mixing Kundali with a stress?
Okay. Actually, Kundalini Yoga, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, Kundalini Yoga people do in order to, raise the Kundalini from the, Muladhar chakra to the Brahmarandra, They do that. This is a Sat Chakra system, we call it. And the yogis do that. Actually, in order for one to do that, it is not something one can live in the city and just sit at home and do Kundalini Yoga. Actually, if you read the Vedic literature, Patanjali Yoga Sutra and all, you will see that there are a lot of procedures. One has to follow Brahmacharya Vrata, and one has to go to a secluded place and a holy place. Many, many conditions are given like that. Actually, what we teach is called Bhakti Yoga, which is actually called path of love. It's a very, very simple path where you take the mind away from the stress and you connect it to the path of love. It's constructive it is. For example, flip-flop switch. Either it is focusing on the worry, or you move it by chanting the Hare Krishna when you chant. You cut it from the worry and focus it on hearing the mantra. That's what you do. So mind switches off to worry. And mind is focusing on concentrating on the holy name. And the holy name is very pure. It's very, very sublime. It's purifying to mind, calming to mind, and people will experience great happiness. Therefore, in America also, you see many videos, people joining kirtans and chanting. And now many are trying Kundalini Yoga. They can try. People are making an effort, to do some amount of little progress they may make. But ultimately, as I told you, the lifespan we have is very short in this age. It's like 70, 80 years only. We don't live very long lives. So the Bhagavad Gita teaches many yogas: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, then Bhakti Yoga. Karma Yoga engages the senses. Jnana Yoga engages the mind. And Ashtanga Yoga engages the intelligence. Bhakti Yoga engages the heart. Because where does the love reside? Love is residing in the intelligence or in the mind or the senses. It is residing in the heart. So when the love is awakened in the heart, then everything else follows. Intelligence, mind, senses, everything follows. Therefore, Bhakti Yoga has all the components. You will see that. So I am not recommending this, but Krishna himself is saying that in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna told him, Yoyam yogastvaya prokta samyena madhusudana. He's telling this process, what you're teaching Kundalini Yoga, raising the Kundalini, the process of Satchakra system. Arjuna actually, in the 6th chapter you will find, 6th and 8th chapter, both you will find. Even Arjuna is rejecting it. He says that this is a very difficult process. He says that. On the other hand, Krishna says, amongst the yogis, yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmanam shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mata. He says many yogis are there, Arjun, but amongst them, one who focuses his heart with pure love and towards God, towards me, Krishna says. Then such a yogi actually is the best yogi. Yoginam api means amongst the yogis, the best yogi is Bhakti yogi. He says that. That Krishna says that. Therefore, we have taken this path. There are many others trying different paths, and they can try. In fact, many people go through many lifetimes actually. One lifetime they make little progress, then one more lifetime. But ultimately he says, Bahunam janmanamanti jnanavan mam prapadyate. After many, many lifetimes, a person comes to understand the Bhakti Yoga and love for God. At that time, one picks it up very seriously. And you can do pranayama, you can do breathing exercise, and along with that you can do chanting. But if you do only breathing and pranayama, if you do, for example, it calms your mind, but doesn't purify your mind. For example, if you have a glass of water which is muddy, you keep it like that for 1 hour, it settles completely. So it appears very clean. You take a spoon and stir it, it comes up again. Pranayama is like that. Pranayama calms your mind. But again, the old vasanas come up again. But if you do Bhakti Yoga, chanting Hare Krishna, it removes the impurities. Once an impurity is removed, even if you stir it, it will not come. There is a verse which says that. It says, Yunjana nama bhaktanam pranayamadi virmanaha akshina vasanam rajan drishyate punaruttitam. It says akshina vasanam rajan means akshin means the vasanas which are not yet dead. Those vasanas arise. Kama vasana, krodha vasana, lobha vasanas. Those vasanas arise again. Even in a yogi's heart where he does pranayama and breathing exercises and dhyana and all, it arises again. But if you do Bhakti Yoga, it's uprooted, like that he says. Is that clear? Is that all right?
Yeah, thank you, sir. So my last question.
Yeah.
What is surrender means? If I surrender to stress, will I get relieved from that?
Actually, if you are stressed in a situation, we should actually come out of the stress. And there are ways to do it. The 12 ways I have given, which I didn't get time to explain today. But the book will, they'll get a copy of the book. In that book, you read these 12 items. They are going to give you a different paradigm to life. There, one example I'll tell you from that. The very first one, escape. And the first one is expectation. You see, whether my expectation is realistic or idealistic, we should check it. See, nowadays people are watching Hollywood, Bollywood movies in the net. Therefore, a man expects woman should be like this. Woman expects man should be like that. So, is that correct expectation? Imagine if a man expects my wife I marry should be like this. The wife will say, then you should be like James Bond also, You are not like that. Then why do you expect me to be like that? Does it not create unrealistic expectation? You agree? In the same manner, people are so surprisingly innocent. They think that, I should always be right. I should never, I never commit mistake. Everyone should think I am all right. And everyone should, love me and respect me, honor me. Nobody should treat me unfairly. We have too many wrong expectations in life. We are living in a world where some people are inimical and they will create trouble for us. So we should always be prepared in mind to, somebody will honor me, somebody will dishonor me. Somebody will give me pleasure, somebody will give me pain. So be realistic, don't be idealistic. This is one example. So by preparing ourselves to be not idealistic, then you will see that your stress is naturally relieved. You will not, when you are thrown into a situation where some unpleasant thing you have to face, you will be able to take it. You know that in this world there is duality. There is honor, dishonor. There is respect, disrespect. Okay, maybe it's my karma, I have to face this. Okay, let me take it, let me go on with life. You get that inner strength. So that's what we should do. I wouldn't say that when stress comes, you surrender and you suffer with the stress. You shouldn't suffer. You should come out of suffering. But these 12 items will help you, and you're going to get a copy of the book. Is it all right? Thank you. Yeah.
So,
Thank you, sir.
And I also want to thank Narendran sir for giving the opportunity.
I mean, it's a pleasure, Prabhuji. It's something which is an honor to all of us that you are here, and Lord is here with us. Gave us good way to kind of one, engage ourselves, to be with good people, and three, also learn. Right? And a lot of the myths that we had, a lot of us, when we say, okay, there is a Gita class, the first thing that comes to our mind is, oh my God, there are so many shlokas. Will I be able to read, learn, do this, do that? But the course also is structured in such a way that it is full of stories, not.
Yeah, I have made the course. It's called as GAME. We call it GAME. Gita for all made easy. So Gita is made very easy. So sir underwent the whole course. He completed and got certificate also. Yeah.
So feel free, and then there is also a course that Chetan must have sent a poster to all of us about, right? So it's self-development made easy. So the group here wants to roll out that course for all of us, and at a time convenient to all of us. This course will be run every Saturday for an hour for a few weeks, where we can go through all these tips and not only just know but also implement and inculcate in whatever we do. So those who are interested can respond through a form that Chetan has already sent, and the course will be rolled out. And no need to restrict it to our own self. If somebody who is in the know of you, in your family, friends, are interested in those courses, so please pass on the information to them. We would like the goodness to spread to everyone. Goodness should not be restricted to ourselves, so we can spread it and let everybody else reap the benefit of the same. So that's all from my side.
And this is my contact. This thing, you can see this Radheshyamdas at RNS at ISKCON.pune.com. You can write to me for any questions, further questions. And at your leisure, you can see this leadersvoiceindia.com. You can see that also. Yeah.
And wonderful videos are there in that. There is a website also, Leaders Voice. You can go there. You can look at the videos. Very, very wonderful, informative videos are there. Finally, one small memento from our side to Prabhuji. This is a book by our founder, Prabhuji. It's called Junk to Gold. So there he has envisioned everything on how this idea came to him, and the roadmap on how they have developed this whole concept of Copart. Thank you, Prabhuji, and thank you to everyone from the ISKCON team. Really glad to have all of you here today. Hare Krishna.